tracking. It is your girl, Lillian Francis. It is my goal to make learning Ableton Live as chill and fun as possible, so I'm stoked that you have joined us today. If you are anything like me, you have a phone with a million different voice notes with a million different song ideas that you don't turn into anything. I'm constantly hearing melodies and rhythms and recording them, being like, oh, this is gonna be the banger. I gotta turn this into a real life song later. And then I don't. So today we're gonna be combining that inspired artist and that dedicated worker together to actually turn these ideas into a real life song. I would like to acknowledge my own anxiety that I'm feeling right now over this process. I think a lot of the reason that I don't actually turn any of my ideas into songs is because of fear that it's not going to sound good enough, that I'm not going to know what to do, that it's going to suck when it gets into the computer, that it's going to be too hard, or it's just not going to sound right. Also, a lot of the times I'm very precious with my ideas. So if I have a melody that's like, giving me all the sparkles, I'm worried that if I go into Ableton and I don't execute and like have an equally inspiring production session, that I'm just gonna have to throw away the idea altogether. So you and I today, we are going to push past this fear. I'm gonna open up one of my voice notes and we are going to turn it into a song in Ableton. I hope this inspires you to go back to some melodies or ideas for songs that you've started but haven't actually finished, because it is my goal to help you turn the sounds that you hear in your head into the computer so that you can share it with people and listen to it over and over and rage to it at a party or whatever you do with your music. Listen to it while you're taking a nap. So let's start with my most recent song idea. I was at Burning Man this last weekend, which was very fun. Thank you for asking. And I had an idea for a song that I just love. It was stuck in my head all weekend. So I'm going to play it for you right now. I think it's really beautiful, and I'm scared as fuck to fuck it up, but we're gonna do it anyways. So fam, together, let's dive right in and see how the fuck do we take a voice memo song idea and make it into a real live song. I'm gonna be using a variety of production techniques. In fact, I have no idea what techniques I'm gonna be using because I haven't done it yet, and we're gonna do it together. Let's dive right in. Splash! All right, fam, welcome to my Proj. The first step is to find the tempo of my song. So I'm gonna use this tap tempo feature in the top left while playing the song in my recording and just figure out what the BPM we're working with is. Cool, let's just call that 200. Next up is recording in the guitar. I'm going to record this with my acoustic guitar, and in order to do that, I'm going to be recording it through this here microphone. Now in this audio track, I have my I/O. I'm going to choose my X'd in. I'm going to select channel 1. Now I'm going to turn on my metronome, and I'm going to press one of these little record buttons inside of my track, and this is going to start recording a clip inside my track. All right, so we've recorded a shit ton of bars, so we are going to go back through and pick the ones that sound good. I'm going to choose 2 so I can play on 1 hard left and 1 hard right. So I found this loop, sounds pretty good. I'm going to select this amount of time, hit Command L, and then I'm just going to hit Command D on this audio track to duplicate my audio track. And then in this audio clip, I'm just going to move my loop to the next little 4 bars, which also sounded good. I'm going to play in 1 hard left, 1 hard right. Cool. Now both together sound like this. And then I'm going to select both of these by selecting one and then holding down shift and selecting the other and hitting Command G to group these. And we're gonna name this guitar. All right, next up, I'm going to guitar. Guitar, there we go. Next up, I'm gonna record my voice. So Command T, create a new audio track, arm this track. I have this simple vocal chain that I'm going to drag onto my audio track. Let's record this little chorus. All right, we got some vocals. Okay, time for the drums. Shift Command T. And for funsies, let's create a new drum rack. I'm going to drag and drop a drum rack onto this drum track. And I'm gonna open up this drum hits. First thing I need is a kick. I kind of like that. I'll drag this down, maybe grab another one. That sounds good. Holy noodle. Cool. Cool. All right, this is just a pretty basic drum rack. We can always switch it out later, so let's not obstruct the flow and just keep moving forward. So I'm gonna create a new clip by double clicking in this little track, and I'm going to set my length to 2 bars. And first, I'm just going to listen to what I have so far and then think, what do I want? All right, something like that. I'm gonna start with my kicks. I will normally just repeat over and over and just add and remove and just feel it out. I'm sorry, I don't have like a better system. I just listen to it and I move the kick and the snare, and then once I have a good kick and snare pattern, then I'll start moving on to the hi-hats and shit like that. And let's make it a 4-bar groove because I'm gonna have the kicks do something else on the next time, but I'm just gonna select them first and then duplicate them. And let's duplicate these little snare babies. And notice how I have just a different snare combination each time. So it goes, it sounds a little bit different. And that variation is important. Cool, let's add a little bit of a groove. So in this groove pool here, I'm gonna hit the hot swap button, and I can go ahead and look through these different grooves that are pulled up. And normally I just choose a random ass groove. Let's try out this one, double click, and now it has been applied here. Now you can't see any changes have been made, right? Because this is a non-destructive quantization. If we hit this little commit button, you could see that they all move a little bit. See, they're like just off the groove. Interesting. They're like all just off the groove. All right, guys, it is 6 o'clock now. I'm about to go to a Sylvan Esso show and I ran out of time. So we're gonna have to come back and finish the song tomorrow. Wish me luck at the concert. Also, it's very sweet that I'm going to a Sylvan Esso concert because I saw them for the first time in 2014. And at that show, I looked up in the crowd and I saw what they were doing. And I thought to myself, that looks like the most fun a person can have. That is what I'm going to do with my life. And here I am, 7 years later, that's what I'm doing with my life. So I gotta go to this show. I will be right back. We're back. We are back. The concert was awesome. Thank you so much for asking. It was an absolute blast. So inspired. I just love them so much. Where were we? Okay. Let's create some harmonies. Let's fucking do that, dude. So let's bring it into arrangement now. And I'm just gonna press arrangement record button, which is gonna automatically launch the ones that are already lined up to launch. So if they have this little green guy here, they are ready to go. So if we hit the arrangement record button, And look, they're all grayed out. Why is that? Well, it's because Ableton's telling us that we are listening to audio in session view. So what we're seeing is different than what we're hearing. We can easily fix this by hitting back to arrangement, which tells Ableton, dear Ableton, I'm ready to listen to arrangement now. What I'm going to do is just loop these first couple bars and just try some different harmony ideas. And let's see how this sounds all together. And this guy, I'm just going to mute everything except for the hi-hats, maybe. I do want like an auto filter. See, now I'm getting bogged down in minutia. All right. I just want to adjust it so there's just kind of like breakdown moment before we like bang out into the verse. And I also want to throw like a little bit of delay under. All right, I just tweaked the automation of the filter frequency and the automation of the dry wet knob until I came up with a combination that I liked. So let's hear this. You're tied to me now. What else do we need? Let's create some bass. Cool, throw a bass amp on it. I want a little glide happening here. We're gonna open up our automation envelope right here, schwamp, schwamp. And let's open up our MIDI control. And here we can find our pitch bend. And I wanna pitch bend this guy. And let's pitch bend just the beginning. It sounds so sweet. Like, it's not supposed to sound sweet. It's supposed to sound sexy. 99% of the shit I do that sounds fucking dope is just me fucking around on accident. I mean, like, turning off my brain and just shoom, 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 just shoom, shoom, shoomping away. And then something cool happens, and that inspires that sparks another song. We're just gonna see what happens. So I wanna add one more harmony that I'm hearing. Too tied to me, aren't you, babe? You're too tied to me now. Ooh, for whatever reason, I'm feeling a vocoder on this vocal. I never use a vocoder. I don't know why. And we're gonna stack harmonies for the carrier. Cool. I like how that sounds. It's kind of like a cool vibe instead of like I'm so happy kind of vibe. This is like a little bit more eerie, which I appreciate. I'm gonna create an audio effect rack. So one, I can process the vocoder differently, and two, I can mix in the dry signal using just volume. If I hit Command G and create a new audio effect rack, and then I duplicate this chain. So effectively I have two duplicate copy signals stacked right on top of the other. And on the first one, I'm going to delete the vocoder and I'm going to rename it dry. And on the second one, I'm going to change it all the way wet. This is going to be my vocoded harm. Cool. And then now I can use this knob to bring it up and down. Cool. I want to throw like a little hostile on this guy to widen it up. Cool, and I want to resample this because I think I could add something like cool using these guys. So let's resample. What happens if I reverse? To me now. All right, right, just made this little croppity do, and then I'm gonna add some like transpositions. Oh, but this needs to be warped. I'm just fucking around. Alright, to recap, we took a vocoder with the vocals and then used the harmonies as the carrier and then resampled that, and now we're just chopping, reversing, resampling, repitching, etc. This is why I was nervous to film this. It's just because my process for creating music is just experimentation. Okay, so here's my resampled vocal harmonies. A couple different ideas that we're gonna have to test out right now. The first one is creating a new instrument with Shift Command T and then sampler, throw it in, hello. No, I want simpler. So right click, sampler to simpler. Now I'm gonna drag this bad boy in, and simpler has this delightful little slice mode that is going to slice up our sample into little more samples. And now I can play them on my keyboard. Ooh, yeah. All right, I'm gonna change the sensitivity here. Changing the sensitivity. Oh, it's already at 100. All right, then let's slice by beat, and let's create like a really small division. And let's create just like a little intro with these little like little sample babies. And trade into a triplet grid and just make some like random Let's add in a fucking kick snare, baby. Oh, there's this like cool man. Okay, stay focused. Okay. So this is gonna be the intro. Okay, first without the drums. Ooh, and as this is happening, ooh. Okay, where's the one that we just? Oh yeah, okay, this is the one that we recorded. And we're gonna duplicate this one because I want this version, but I want this version complex. This is just like the lower version, and I'm just going to freeze this, Command J, and I'm going to fade it in. So, and let's put a utility on the master. I like to use the width on utility. I don't recommend widening things out unless you don't really give a shit about the track. Because it can make it very weak. But it's really good for taking away width and adding it back. And in adding it back, it could seem to get much larger even though it's only getting to 100%. So I'm going to start the width and I'm just going to automate it. So right click, show automation. What am I automating again? Oh, the master. Okay. So I right click, show automation, and then create some breakpoints here. So let's say it goes from like 0 to 60 or like 50. And then it's going to hop up to 100%. Right click, edit value, 100. Okay. So then it's like, shoom, pop. This bass is no longer really the bass I want. This is so funny to me. This is so fun. Oh, Lillian. Synth sub bass Texas, let's go, girl. Oh, it's just that kind of thing. Okay, then we need a simpler. So if we want to create an instrument out of a sample, we create a new MIDI track, and then sampler. I'm gonna throw that bad boy in there. Take this little audio unit and throw her in the synth sub bass, and let's get this thing tuned. Throw on a tuner, and I'm just gonna play. Perfect. I'm just playing C on my keyboard right now, and I can see that it is actually C was the key of the original sample. Okay, we're getting in the zone. We're out here. I'm gonna go to my pitch oscillator tab and turn on my pitch envelope, and let's do a little. Yeah, but bring that decay down. Alright, so this redux, it's very dirty and I love it, but I just want it to come in when we're getting that first transient of the bass. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add this awesome plugin by Max for Live called Envelope MIDI. I'm gonna throw it here, and this allows me to shape the sound, literally shape a sound. So I'm going to draw the shape of this sound, or the shape of the envelope, and I'm going to apply it to the bits knob. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit map, and I'm going to map this to bits. Now you're going to see that this bits knob is going to follow the shape of this envelope. So it starts at 1, and then it goes to 16, and then it comes like halfway down. Yeah, to 10. So it's coming 2/3 of the way down. And then it'll keep holding that out until it finally collapses. But what I want to happen is I want it starting out low when the transient first hits, so super grimy, and then get the bits higher as the sound fades. So what I'm going to do is change the parameters. So I'm going to swap the min and max. So put this at 100, put this at 0. So it starts at 16 bits technically, but our attack is essentially 0. So really it's going to start on 1. And let's pull this out so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And I want this to be on another chain so that I can just bring in the level. I don't really want it at 100. So I'm going to Command G to group this guy, and then I'm going to right click create chain. This will be my dry chain, and this will be my redux. Now I can bring in this redux signal along with my dry signal. Cool. All right, I'm going to resample this bass because I always love resampling bursts. Cool, that's kind of cool, right, fam? That's kind of cool, right, fam? Right? Okay. Just gonna see if this is kind of cool as like a riser. Yeah. I want some kind of like melodic thing under here. So let's take one of my vocal harmonies. Let's just throw it there. Alright, maybe I want to throw on, there's this Harmonizer, Max for Live, Harmonizer. Yeah, this is this like cool kind of delay, transposition, harmonization, feedback thing. Alright, whenever I hear cool shit like that, I have to open up a new audio track and start resampling because I don't know what's gonna happen. Alright, there was some cool shit in there, so let's just listen through. Okay, I'm gonna use my shift option to just scroll. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna place that over here. That's cool. I'm gonna place it over here. See what I'm doing? I'm just like, ooh, that's cool. And then I'm option dragging it. Cool, that sounds good. gotta do like a little like vocal sweep, clip transposition. Ooh, tone sounds so good, dude. Hell yeah. That sounds like a arpeggiator. I'm just going up 27. Sure. Oh, let's try adding some of these like cool resamples in there. I forgot about these. Oh, that totally fits in. All right, where were we? Oh, and then maybe just this end is just like a... Yeah. Woo! Okay, okay. It's happening. It's happening. You know, when like the ideas are coming faster than you're actually moving and talking to a camera. Yeah, bitch. Let's go. Now we're gonna drop into the chorus. All right, let's think about the chorus. What the fuck is the chorus? Where do we leave it off? Ooh, what about like a pre-chorus with the harmony? So let's insert some space with that command I. And let's just experiment with how throwing, oh, we're gonna need more space than that. Let's throw in another 4 bars. Ooh, okay. All right, cool. All right, now what we got to do is turn up the glide. So let's go into this guy and go into, where are we? Pitch oscillator, turn my glide to glide. Portamento is polyphonic. We're not doing that. We're doing the bass. Big dance yourself clean vibes, which I'm really into, so let's listen to that. All right, great like synth stabs, which makes me want to stretch. Okay, we need like some kind of synthy thing. So, ooh, all right. I think that we can add in some like cool rhythmic like crunchy crunch with the same instrument we've been using all along, but just using some of the crunchies. Note that I just put those in randomly, but it has a cool rhythm. Let's duplicate it. Let's try a 4 on the floor. Do we want to pitch bend this bad boy? No, I don't like this anymore. But I'm gonna fold it so I can see. And I'm gonna open up my mixer and let's go to track volume. On and off. 1, 2, 4. Duplicate. Oh, okay. We're close. We're fucking close. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, auto filter. filter. This is a cluster. Fuck, that is my brain working. Schwamp, schwamp. And this will like open. Okay, and then let's duplicate this and pull it forward. So it's like, I want it to like come in beforehand, you know, like that. Oh, and that can't disappear. Where's that? Oh, that's here. Okay, we gotta keep that going somehow. Let's throw a reverb and just let the decay time. Oh, this is gonna be a sweet audio tail / lead. Let us resample this. This will be duplicated and then R for reverse. All right, cool. And we're gonna duplicate this and let's transpose up 1 12 semitones. And this one is going to just like come in gradually. And duplicate another one, transpose it down. Let's transposition this guy. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of weird. What if I did all of it transposed up? 2 semitones. Ooh, dude, the LFO. I love this feature of Auto Filter. It's fucking awesome. LFO is a low frequency oscillator. It is just a waveform. And what this waveform can do is be applied to a certain parameter to move it back and forth. In this case, we are moving the frequency of the filter back and forth at a specific rate. Ooh. All right, now I'm gonna throw on auto pan. It's an LFO. That's what a auto pan is. It's an LFO, but I am modulating the volume. An auto pan just changes the volume between the left and right ears, and then when you line them up together, it just goes up and down together. I know I did a better explanation of that somewhere. But anyways, here with our bouncing chords. Cool. All right, I'm gonna duplicate this track because I want to take these guys here and let's just fucking freeze this motherfucker and flatten while we're at it. And hello. Okay, I'm gonna consolidate that shit and let's downpose this. And I want it like gritty. Haha, dude, I'm loving on this redux. Just texture, baby. Cool. And then I want to throw on some more melodies. So back to this original instrument we've been using. Let's see if we can find some like gritty textures. Cool. I like that. And let's bring it down like to 70 with the width here just before the drop, or maybe more. Oh, I know. I need to put a saturator on here. Command G to group it. Drag down this chain while duplicating. Delete this one. We're gonna call it dry. And this one, call it Saturator. And I'm gonna just crank the fuck out of it. Cool, and then I'm going to automate this. Let's create some white noise by Googling white noise. Great, love that for me. And we're just going to, maybe we'll like pitch it up. And we will automate this auto filter. All right, time to record some vocals now that we have shaped this thing up, and bring my sample rate way down, which is gonna make my computer cry. Oh my god, baby. Baby honey bear. Honey bear. Baby head. All right, fam, I may have jumped around a little bit because I got into the flow and I could not describe everything I was doing, but I hope that you have learned a lot from just watching and seeing all the different ways that you can experiment. I had a lot of fun doing this. I'm pretty stoked on how it turned out, so let's give it a full listen. All right, 3, 2, 1.
What you looking for, did you find it? Watch me walk by and then wind it. All I need is you right by me. All I need is you right there. All I need, you tight to me, aren't you, baby? You tight to me now. You tight to me, aren't you, baby? You tight to me now. Tight to me now.
This has been really fun. I'm stoked that we pivoted from like the contour song that it was turning into to this really cool like little bopper. So I'm gonna continue to work on this. I hope that you found this interesting and inspirational. And if you're looking to get into music production, I encourage you to keep hanging out with me. We have a lot of fun doing it. If you have any cues, if you're just like producing by yourself and you need someone to ask a question to, you can reach out to me on Instagram. My Insta is @LillianFrancis. I just want you to create the music that you hear in your head. So if there's something technical slowing you down, holler at me and I will try to help you out with it. I hope you have learned some little tricks and tidbits in this video. We were covering a lot of things. It was definitely a clusterfuck, but you made it to the end. Congratulations, we're out here. So that's it, fam. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.